Good morning, my bows and bow ties. Okay, let's see. Sorry about that. Dealing with my equipment issues until I get it together. So yeah, today I'm just going to talk about doing me. Hopefully, I can get this done in less than 10 minutes. So let's see if I can run through these real quick. Oh, I should have put my let me change this title here. Doing, whoops, doing me. All right. That's what we're talking about today, doing me. Now, this isn't like a bad thing. Nothing has happened or anything like that. So why did I come up with this? I did a little stint on another live stream last night, and it was interesting. There's some good points that were made, but it just made me think about a previous conversation I had with. Um, Another woman recently. So I just want to say this. I think as you get older, you just come to the conclusion that, like, you're not going to apologize for being who you are. You know, it could be whether you were born into a certain class, it could be the way you look, it could be your dating status, it could be whatever. But I think the biggest thing is you got to get to the point where you cannot apologize for being here unless you've done something crazy. What I am saying is, I don't have time to apologize for certain things. I'm just not. Especially when I know when God has shown favor upon me in certain situations. Favor isn't fair. It's not fair. All right. So I think I'm at the point, well, I know I'm at that point. It's just that you get to a point in life where you just have to live it and you can't apologize because it is what it is, good or bad. So I'm going to move on to this next one. This is the one I want to just lean in on this for a second. When I was younger, I felt like I needed to. Let me rephrase it. I don't think I was ever a real follower, but I definitely wanted to please more. Okay. So I would be more outraged than I really should have been or ever really was about situations or whatever. And I think as I've gotten older, I'm like, no, I'm calling BS. And because you're outraged about something doesn't mean I'm outraged about something. Maybe I see things from another perspective. I think the biggest thing is I just don't have the cycles to spend time being something other than who I am. I just don't. I don't have it. I don't want it. I can never figure out what camera I'm on. Y'all, I need I need some tutoring. I always have the wrong camera. Whatever. So yeah, you can't spend all your time trying to be someone else. I think um I just think it's counterproductive. I think when you know who you are and you walk in your truth, you will spend time bettering who you are, really honing your skills, honing your thoughts, etc. I think when you spend all this time trying to be something that you're not, trying to engage in relationships that are not fruitful, trying to hold on to past beliefs and opinions, doesn't make any sense. I think let me go back to no apologies for a second. I think about friendships. Okay. I think about how as I've gotten older, I've let go of friendships for a variety of reasons. And I would say the pandemic has exposed a lot more. You start to peel back the layers and you see things for what they are. Not necessarily because something is bad. It could have just been a season. Some things are bad. I went through the whole range. But I think the thing is, I've gotten to the point where I don't apologize for making strong decisions that are in the best interest of myself and my family. I've let go of toxic relationships, friendships. Um, I've noticed also when it comes to relationships, and I think I did a podcast on this a year or two ago, when in relationship to making friends over 30 and all these other things. I just find that as you get older, your schedules change, seasons change. If you have children, the things that you put your priorities in change. And one of the things I notice is that when I'm dealing with friendships, I've come to the conclusion like I don't hold on to friendships that are one-sided. So if I have to constantly chase you down just to check on you, that means I'm making you way more of a priority than you consider our friendship. Now, people do go through things, but I find that if I constantly have to be the one who's putting in the effort, it just lets me know that you are not a priority. And it doesn't make it bad. Like so if that friend or that family member or coworker or whatever that relationship is, yeah, if they're not reciprocating, not because they're mad or anything like that, they're just caught up in their own lives. You know what? You have shown me better than you can tell me. So I put it in its proper perspective and I don't apologize for moving on. I don't. It doesn't mean you're mad. And should things change, you never know. Maybe things will pick up again. But I don't apologize for letting go of relationships that are dead. I don't apologize for not forcing friendships. I don't apologize for cutting toxic relationships that are engaging in subversive behaviors. Um, but yeah, I'm going to move on. I know I went back, but let's go to this third one. We're going to talk about taking on other people's problems. I've come to the conclusion that I have to do me. I got my own issues. I got my own problems. Remember I was talking about how my hair was thinning in this one spot? I'm not about that life. Now, granted, those are first world problems, and that was meant to be a little bit tongue in cheek. The point I'm making is I cannot take on other people's problems. I have to stop. I can't continuously worry about people and care more about you than you care about you. I can't care about you more than I care about myself. And no, this is not in reference to anything bad or anything. I'm just saying in general, when I look back over the last few years, you know, I can see that I was in this shedding season. Okay, when I started getting rid of the extra, it's like stop having like you're hoarding friendships. They're not friendships or any kind of relationship, right? I've had to do that with family members years ago. So yeah, I've had to do that. And then let me talk about relevancy. I find that when you have relationships that are not meaningful or fruitful or helpful, and if they're harmful, one of the main things I will do if I find that you are not a good person is I will immediately make you irrelevant. I don't give you mental cycles. I don't give you any cycles. Actually, and I think about some of the content out here on this YouTube um, application, when I see some of the toxic people that um, put out content, right? One of the things I don't do is I don't click on content like that. I just don't do it. I don't like to hate watch. I flat out just don't do it. Why would I dedicate my cycles to nonsense? And I apply that to my regular everyday life. If friendships, family relationships, whatever it is, when they become too hard, I no longer make them relevant. That's it. It's that basic. All right. So why am I doing me? I just think I was just putting some things in perspective and thinking about how, and I've had to make some decisions in recent times too, not necessarily bad, just good, bad, and different, whatever. And I recognized that I needed to be actually more selfish. Like, when's the last time somebody told you that? I needed to be more selfish. I needed to take time for myself. I needed to be intentional. Why am I spending so much time feeding schedules, relationships, situations, anything that may be bothering you, right? Why am I feeding those things? Do me. What does that mean? Self care, all that good stuff. So I'm doing me. I would suggest you do you too. But I think that's the beauty of when you start to age, when you just care less. I meant to bring up, there was a TikTok I saw, and this woman was talking about how she has zero F's to give. And she explained how that happens. And she said, you start off, I'm not even doing it justice, but you start off with a whole bunch of them. And as you get older, the things that you care about, things that are important, those F's, you start, she said, you start shedding them, because what happens is you start off with this big bag, and then sometimes you get down to the smaller bags because you're like, you know what, I don't need this, I don't need that. So all the F's start to leave. And those things align with relationships, whether they're romantic or friendship or work based. It goes with situations. It just goes with a lot of things. So that's where I'm at with it. I'm taking time to do me and be intentional. I was supposed to be less than 10 minutes. So all right, let me go ahead. Let me just get my life together. Hey, you know what? Look, I appreciate anyone who comes out and pays attention to anything that I put out. It's time for me to get out of here. I can hear my family getting up and getting ready for school and for work. I need to get on the road because my husband has bus duty today. And that's pretty much it. But thank you for coming out and listening to anything that I put out. I appreciate any feedback. I appreciate all the comments. And that's pretty much it. If you like the content, go ahead and subscribe or at least like it. But that's pretty much it. Gotta run. Take care.